Good morning and welcome to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Our focus this morning will be on early voting that's taken place in Milwaukee ahead of the 2016 presidential election. And we'll also talk about an organization that was established in Milwaukee back in 1919. Its mission is to provide essential programs and services to those who desire to be productive, contributing members of the community. My first guest is Ralph Hollmon, who is the president and CEO of the Milwaukee Urban League. How are you?
I am very fine, and thank you so much for having me back.
Well, welcome back to the show. And as I mentioned, the Milwaukee Urban League has a rich history, not only nationwide, but here in the city of Milwaukee, dating back to the Abraham Lincoln House on Vine Street.
That's absolutely right. This Urban League was founded in 1919, so we're one of the oldest African-American organizations, not only locally, but nationally. The National Urban League was founded in 1910 in New York City.
And so today the Urban League is located on North Avenue?
435 West North Avenue, and we're very proud to say we're in the heart of Bronzeville. That's the area that's been designated by the city of Milwaukee as the African American and Cultural District of the city.
Getting right into the issues, Mr. Hollmon, unemployment among African Americans in Wisconsin in 2014 was the highest of any of the 50 states. That's according to a study that was released by the Economic Policy Institute in D.C. And with that said, the Urban League has many programs and services that are set up to help individuals, especially when it comes to finding employment. So you've got the Employment Assistance Program. If you would, tell us more about that.
All right. Well, first of all, let me start out by saying that in today's job market, in today's economy, one of the primary things that we have to do is help more people get prepared for and connected to the jobs that exist today. And that is the primary function of our Employment Assistance Program. You know, let me just say, years ago, when Milwaukee had a significant number of manufacturing jobs, the joke was you could have a first shift job. If you didn't like that job, you could go and find a second or third shift job on the same day. And many people could get hired on the spot. Well, today, that's not the case. Employers, many of them, have a process. And interestingly enough, many employers, you cannot apply for the jobs unless you apply online. So they want you to apply online, they want you to take written tests, you have to go through background checks, you have to do drug testing, you have to do a number of things. And a lot of people are not prepared for those rigors. So our Employment Assistance Program works with people to get them ready so that they can be attractive, you know, in today's job market.
Makes a lot of sense. And you guys also partner with small businesses and corporations and actually coming up with job fairs that are specifically going to benefit your members.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the things we like to do is we like to have what I call customized job fairs. A lot of times people will have what I'm going to call open-ended job fairs where people just come. Well, we found that that is not as productive because a lot of people come to the job fair and they don't have the skills and the background that matches up with what those particular employers want. So rather than having an open-ended job fair, what we will do is sit down with an employer and first find out what kind of jobs they have available, what are the minimum qualifications. Then we will pre-screen and find people that meet those minimum qualifications. And we found that that is a much more productive way to have a job fair.
Makes a lot of sense. And a lack of a driver's license has been found to prevent many clients from getting a job. So you also provide opportunities for them to obtain their driver's license or their permits and get those reinstated.
Oh, absolutely. And that's another part of the job preparation process. You know, it's probably no secret that many of the better paying jobs, they don't exist in the city where people live. They are in outlying areas. And in many instances, if people don't have their own transportation or a driver's license, it's difficult, if not impossible, for them to get to those jobs. So our driver's license recovery and assistance program is absolutely critical. And let me just add one other point. We also have a driver's permit class. And we have been doing this for several years. When people first approached me about doing a driver's permit class, I said, oh, we don't need that. But then he said, Mr. Hollmon, there are a number of people who are driving, but they have never ever had a driver's license. And we're finding that that is absolutely the case. So
wow.
Helping people get a driver's license, helping people get their driver's license back, it is absolutely huge in terms of their ability to find and keep employment.
Now, with the unrest that took place in the Sherman Park neighborhood, has that been over a month now? I think so. Yeah, it seems like it was just yesterday, but you know, time is going by.
It's approaching a month.
Yeah, the governor's office announced an investment of $4.5 million to strengthen and rebuild Milwaukee in partnerships with city, county, and community groups.
Yes.
And part of that includes a mobile hire center that's set up to help individuals not only develop skills but find good-paying jobs. And that job center, which I believe it rotates every Tuesday.
Yes.
It was at the Milwaukee Urban League.
Yes. So
how is it set up and how does that work?
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that because when the governor announced the $4.5 million that was coming to Milwaukee, not only to help Sherman Park, but to help our entire city, this was a key part of it. Through the State Department of Workforce Development, they have job centers, you know, that are located throughout the state. One of the things that they wanted to do is have mobile job center access days where the job center would actually go to multiple sites throughout the community to be more accessible to people and help people. And really the job center is like a one-stop shop. You can come to the job center and get a variety of help and assistance at one place without having people to go from here to there to there to there. Okay. One of the big things is employment assistance job search. So what the mobile job center does is help people with their resumes, helps people who need educational assistance, GEDs, helps people find employment on the website, helps people understand how they apply online. Many of the kind of things that the Urban League does, okay, the Job Center does. And we were very pleased to have a mobile site at the Urban League because it helped to augment and support our employment assistance program.
Good stuff. And the November elections, needless to say, they're right around the corner, Tuesday, November 8th. And if you would, Mr. Hollmon, talk about the importance of people getting out and casting their votes and letting their voices be heard, especially in this extremely important presidential race.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, let me just say, the Urban League focuses on educational programs, employment and economic development programs, both locally and nationally. But one of the other things that we are very, very concerned about is having people to get engaged civically. And, you know, to get engaged civically, you can do a number of things, but one of the most important things is exercising your right to vote. And so we really want to do everything to educate, encourage, and motivate people to come out to vote. One of the things that the Urban League, the Milwaukee Urban League, has been doing for the past 10 years, we have adopted a polling site. We worked in conjunction with the City of Milwaukee Election Commission, and we've adopted the polling site at the Metropolitan Baptist Church. And this is a way...
Is that 14th and Burleigh?
14th and Burleigh.
Yeah,
You're absolutely right. 14th and Burleigh.
Okay.
And this is important because it gives us an opportunity to get involved directly in the voting process. We do voter registration, voter education, and we really try to help people navigate the election process. And let me just say one thing. One of the things that I would really encourage people to do is don't wait till the last minute to register to vote. Don't wait till the last minute to get your voter ID. Get all of your paperwork and your identification. Get it done right now. On election day, it creates a little bit of confusion and a little bit of chaos when a number of people come to the polling site that are not prepared. So if I could send one message or leave one message with the listening audience, please take time to get yourself together now. please do not wait till the last minute.
Excellent point. And you mentioned the Milwaukee Election Commission, and we're going to have its executive director here in the next segment.
So this is very timely, very timely.
Everybody ready, and so they'll know everything they need to know in order to be prepared to cast their vote on November 8th. So thank you for that. And quickly, I wanted to give out your website and your phone number for people to get more information about the things that we've discussed already.
Okay, I'll start with our phone number. The area code is 414-374-5850. 374-5850. And our website is www.tmul.org.
All right.
TMUL.org, and that stands for the Milwaukee Urban League.
Yep, and we got that right there on the screen for everybody to jot down. And Mr. Hollmon, you've served as president and CEO of the Milwaukee Urban League now since 2002.
Absolutely.
And you recently announced your plans to retire.
Yes, I did.
Bittersweet.
Bittersweet, but I am going to retire at the end of the year. And I might add, a number of people that I see in the community, they think I'm already retired.
Not quite.
Not quite, not quite. I'm still going to be working until the end of the year. And I always say to folks, yes, I'm going to be retiring from the Urban League, but I'm not going to be retiring from community service. As long as we have issues and challenges in our community, I think I'm obligated to try to do as much as I possibly can to help improve the quality of life for everyone who lives in this community.
Yes, and so we assume that means that the Urban League is currently looking for someone to fill those big shoes of yours as you prepare to exit at the end of the year.
Yes, absolutely. My board is engaged in a national search right now. They're interviewing candidates. The final candidates will have to be certified by our National Urban League office. And as soon as that process takes place, we're hoping and very optimistic that we will find my replacement between now and the end of the year.
Okay, well, I think I speak for so many people when I say thank you for all of your years of service and all of the outstanding things that you've done through the Milwaukee Urban League.
Thank you so very much.
Yes. Wanted to quickly, if we could, I think it's important for you and those who know you, what are some of the things that stand out in your mind when you look back over your career with this organization?
Well, you know, that's very interesting that you'd ask that. There's so many things that you know, I'm very proud about and very pleased about. One of the things I'm very pleased that Milwaukee, in spite of our issues and challenges, is a very giving community. I have just been very gratified with the level of support that I and the Urban League have received over the years from the corporate, business, and the philanthropic community. That is something that cannot be underscored. I'm very pleased about that. On the programmatic side, I'm very pleased and happy when we help a young person get some financial aid to go to a college or to a university. And it's even more gratifying when it's the first generation, when a young person says, I am the first person in my family that's going to be able to go to college. That's a very gratifying feeling. The other thing that I'm very pleased about is when we help someone overcome some of their challenges and some of their barriers, and they're able to find a good family supporting job.
Yeah.
That is very gratifying. So those are some of the things that stand out in my mind as I look back over the number of years that I have been honored and pleased to serve the Urban League.
Yeah, it's a blessing that you've been able to do so much since 2002, and we wish you the best as you relax a little. I guess you'll be hitting a few balls here and there, I'm not sure. That's usually how it goes, right?
You know, my friends have said, Ralph, be careful, because many people are busier in retirement than when they were working.
I've seen that.
and it's really interesting. A number of people have already asked me to consider doing certain things or to do certain things. And I was joking with people the other day, and I said, I'm going to have no shortage of opportunities, especially when people know that they don't have to pay my salary.
Well, it's always a pleasure talking to you, and of course, I wish you nothing but the best. And I did want to emphasize to our viewers that the Milwaukee Urban League has a long list of of programs and services. We talked about the programs dealing with employment, but
Yes.
dealing with education and training, and you have the young professionals and, of course, the black and white ball that people look forward to each and every year. I advise them to go to the website and check it all out.
Oh, absolutely. The Black and White Ball is one of our signature events, and it really brings a diverse cross-section of our community together. So I would encourage people to come to the ball.
All right, and I'm guessing you'll be making your way there regardless if you're retired or not.
Yeah, I think they'll reserve a seat for me.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you again for coming by, and again, all the best.
Thank you so very much.
Mr. Ralph Hollmon is the president and CEO of the Milwaukee Urban League. And again, for more information on anything we've discussed today, you can log on to tmul.org or call 414-374-5850. When we return to Our Issues Milwaukee, we'll discuss the 2016 presidential election coming up on Tuesday, November 8th. We'll discuss early voting, registration, and voter IDs with the executive director of the Milwaukee Election Commission, and we'll do that right after this.